Okay, so we are going to first turn on our screencast so you guys can see what I'm doing. And where is it? Where is it? Where is it? And turn this on to text. Okay, sorry about that. Alright, so what we're going to do is import our chibi version of our Team Flare avatar, which is like right here. And of course, because I got it from Model Resources, she's giant. So we're going to have to do some prep work just to get her ready for our scaling down, our chibification, if you will. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the... Oops, I'm going to press escape and not move it. I'm going to click on the bones, and I'm going to press delete and then get rid of it. But just because we deleted the bones doesn't mean the armature's, settings isn't still there. So we're going to click on the body, and I'm going to go over to the modifiers tab, and I'm just going to erase the... what's it called? The modifier that was just there. Here you go. The skeleton modifier here. We're just going to press this little X and then get rid of it. That'll save us some hardship or heartache when we go to export it, and sometimes they say the skin weight isn't there because that modifier, that old armature modifier was there to messing it up. So we're just going to get rid of it and make sure it saves us some time. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit smooth so I don't have this pixelated face here. I want it nice and smooth and pretty. If we left it like that, it'll come in pixelated, and that's not good. So now that we have it deboned, if you will, we're going to click on the head and hold down shift and then click on the body, and I'm just going to press S and scale it down so that it's a little smaller and not gigantic all the way out here, making things difficult for us. So now that we got it scaled down just a little bit, I'm going to press S and scale it a little more. I'm going to press Control A, and then I'm going to press rotation and scale. I guess you could just use scale, but I'm so used to pressing rotation and scale with everything else, it's just habit to press. So now that we have our chibi down into a nice size and isn't gigantic, we're going to go over to a new layer, which is these bottom squares down here, and we're going to add in an avatar. Now this is any kind of avatar, triangles or quads, it really doesn't matter, whichever you feel like it. And we're going to bring in a default second life avatar that'll help us get a better idea of the scale when we're trying to make things small. So when it comes in, it should look like this, be like a default roof with the loops all selected. We're going to press A and deselect everything. That'll help us out. And I'm going to hold down shift, and I'm going to select the first layer with our chibi. She should still be selected. That's why I said, press A and deselect the thing. Now remember, this is supposed to be a chibi or a small avatar. At its current state, it's actually about the same height, if not bigger, than a default second life shape. So she'll be like a full-grown avatar, but bigger, kind of like one of those big park mascots. And we don't want that. Well, you could use that if you want to, but for this project we don't want it. We want it to be kind of like small down here. So what we're going to do is press the S key again, and we're going to scale her down to how small we want her. And I want it to be chibi, kind of cute. I'm sorry, chibi means cute. Kawaii means cute. Chibi means small. So we want it nice and small, and I'll say about right here at knee level is a good way to be. So that's where we're going to size our avatar down here, almost like a toddler or a baby or something like that. So when we have it up like this, we're going to press Control A again and then apply rotation and scale. So once we have our height the way we want, we're going to click on the avatar skeleton, these loops that are here, and we're going to press S again, and we're going to scale it down to our avatar, making sure to line it up the best we can. That's a pretty good location. They say that it's better to move the avatar skeleton, but I like to keep things nice and centered. So we can just click on the avatar itself and then try to move that rather than moving the avatar. So there we go. Now we're going to have to move the legs and adjust them in pose mode. So click on the loops, and we're going to press pose mode. You're going to click on the legs here, and you're going to press R and then move it out like this. I'll close it. Right here and right here. just to get everything lined up with it. So the goal in this one is to line your avatar up with your mesh body the best you can, because the better you do that, the better the weights are going to be. But also because we're moving the skeleton, we're going to have to use the alter to rest pose thing like we showed you before. If you're having a hard time seeing the avatar, the avatar, where it's lining up at, you can just click on it and then go to the object mode and maybe press the X-ray. So that'll show you just how your avatar is lining up in, in reference to the mesh. So we want to make the hands maybe a little bit, the arms a little bit longer so that the hand weights can go to the hand weights of our model. So you click on the, I think it's the meshes or it's the bones. I always get those two confused. So I'm going to click on the bones first. Yeah, you click on the bones first. And then you're going to open up this tab that says Avatar Appearance. Now we're just going to scale down. And then we're going to go to the torso. I think it is. Yes, torso. And I want to make the arm length a lot longer. About here. That way the arms match up with the hands. If you need a little more space, you could try pushing the shoulders out like this, and that gives you a few more inches a little bit. But I think about here is a good place because the hands match up with the hands that are there. So once we have this done, I think I want to make the neck a little bit longer. Neck. Where's the neck? Neck thickness, neck length. Put the head up inside there so the neck goes. Alright, that's about everything. Alright, so we're going to click on the avatar again. Turn off the X-ray so it goes back inside so we don't have to see it. And now we're going to rig this body, our meshes, to the skeleton. So what I'm going to do is, to make things a lot easier, I'm just going to click on the head and the body, and I'm going to join those two together so that it's one time instead of having to click this and rig it, click that and rig it. What I do now is click on the body, hold down shift, click on the bones, and then we're going to go over here to Avatar, and we're going to go to skinning. Now remember what I said before in the last videos, uncheck the attach sliders. I'm not a big fan of them, so I don't really use it. You can check it if you want, but I don't. Alright, so then we're going to check this box here that says alter to rest pose, because we moved the skeleton. If we were just having it in a plain T pose, like, let me just undo all my hard work and then just to show you what this is. When it's like this, plain T pose, unmoved, like you didn't move any of the rings that change the pose, then you don't need to check alter the rest pose. But if we move the pose and change the pose from anything outside of the T pose, then we need to check the alter the rest pose, which we did move the legs and stuff over, so we have to choose alter the rest pose. So once that box is checked, we're just going to press bind to armature, and we're going to let Avatar do its thing. So it automatically rigged, and now we just have to test it and see how it works out. So I like to click on the arms and press R and then move it and see how it moves, and do the same thing for wrists and then hands. Okay, everything's looking pretty good except for the pants here. I don't know what's up with that. Not a big fan of that, so we're going to have to manually paint and change it, as well as the collar is doing this. But it did that in the last one, remember that Team Flare? So the head is moving around pretty good, and everything seems to be nice. Now the problem I have with Avatar is that it keeps turning off the X-ray before it used to come on by default, but you can usually change that by just checking the box. So now we have to go into weight paint mode for our little mannequin here. So what I'm going to do is go into the rigging panel, and I'm going to move this open so you can see it better, and we're going to switch it to skin mode, because when it's in loops and stuff like this, it's in pose mode so it can help you grab things, but you want to check skin mode when you're going into weight painting because you're skinning. Technically, just a little fun fact, I didn't know the difference between skinning and rigging until, I use Maya, so it's fancy Maya talk for people like skinning. Anyway, sorry. Alright, so we have skin mode enabled, and now we're going to click on our what's this thing called? Our mesh avatar. And actually, before we even do that, let's get rid of these avatar meshes because they're kind of in the way. So you're going to go over here to your outliner. I'm sure there's a button inside here that says hide Avastar meshes, but it keeps moving every time Gaia updates it, so I keep forgetting where it is, and this way it's a lot faster. So let's go over here to our, what do you call this? Outliner. And you're going to press the plus sign that says Avatar. And you're just going to scroll down until you see Avastar meshes. And you're going to click that plus, and you're just going to run your mouse down all the eyeballs and check them. If you find that your mesh went away, just click the last eyeball and then it should pop back. Make sure you don't click the arrow or the camera, or else you won't be able to edit it or render it out. So make sure you don't touch whatever you name your model. Alright, so now that we have that out of the way, let's go in and start weight painting. So you're going to click on the body, and you're going to switch over to weight paint, and you're going to see when you click on the bones all the colors and stuff like that. Now you should have watched the other videos in the beginning of the back to basics, the one we talk about weight painting, so I'm not going to really go over how weight painting works, but I guess it'd be kind of rude not to by now. So in a nutshell, Blender renders weight data, rigging data in the form of colors, kind of like heat vision, sort of. The redder it is, the redder/hotter it is, the more control the bone has over the mesh. The colder or bluer it is, the less control it has over the mesh. Red is 1 point, blue is 0, so 0 control, 1 is the most control you can have, and that's red, and 0 is blue, so blue is cold. Alright, so hopefully that helps you understand what I'm doing. If not, go back and watch the video we did where we fully explain weight painting in a broader spectrum. Alright, so what we're going to do now is check and see what looks right and what doesn't. So this right here, it doesn't look right. I want to move this, and let's see. Alright, I'm going to go with the definites before I go down there and experiment with that. I know how the arm moves, and it takes the collar with it. I don't want that to happen. So what I'm going to do is remove the heat the arm bone has on this collar mesh. So let's go over to the panel where it says tools and click on that. And we're going to turn it down to 0. And that means it's going to be really cold and remove heat from it. So I'm just going to run it across this brush across the collar. So when we press R and rotate it, you'll see it's not moving. And I'm going to do the same thing over here for this bone, and just remove the collar for that. Now another thing we could do, instead of manually weight painting it, I'm going to press A and then R and reset the bones back into its natural position, is that we can mirror the weight from this arm to that arm. Then you do that, and this is why I said before that you need sparkles for this, because it's a sparkles feature as far as I know, is that you can mirror the weights from this bone. So we're going to go into the tools, I think it's tools, yeah, and you're just going to scroll down till you see weight tools, and you're going to change this drop menu from vertex to shape. Then you're going to press the mirror opposite bones button, and you see it changes up. I'm going to press R and rotate it, and then press R and rotate it, and you see it's weighted exactly the same. So that is a big time saver when you do one or the other. The downside to this is when you use the shape feature, it has to be on a symmetrical plane. Like the shape has to be the exact same as on this side. That gives you the best results. If that doesn't work, you may want to try topology, and I'm pretty sure vertex doesn't work. So you just have to try and work on it and see if it works. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I'm going to click on the neck here, and I'm going to rotate this and see how it goes. And I already know that I don't like the way it moves with the neck. I want the collar to be rigged totally to the chest bone, because that's usually how it is. So I'm going to press R and I'm going to rotate it and just look at it, just to turn it so I can get a better view with my brush up in there. And I'm going to, whoops, I don't want to do that. I'm going to turn my weight down to 0, and I'm just going to remove the weight the neck has over the collar. Now you feel like you're actually grabbing the neck or other pieces that you don't want to paint, you can use the masking tool, which is the button box down here, or you can press M on your keyboard, M like Mary, and click on the little triangles, and that allows you to paint like so without hitting parts that you don't want. It's called the face masking, so it's a really handy tool. Please pardon my way of navigating. So you just click and paint, click and paint, click and paint till you get the way you want. If you find that the camera's going in and it's being a pain, you could just press numpad 5, and that helps you get a better up close without it going into your avatar too much. If the bones are in the way, you can just press the X-ray. I think that's it, and that makes it go away. So let's try this. Get all up in here. Make the it also helps if you make the radius huge. So little radius. Alright, so that should be everything. I'm going to press M again, and then we're going to uncheck the X-ray box. I'm just going to click on the neck and press R and Z and move it about, and the neck is still moving, so I don't like that. Actually, I kind of do like that. I don't know. Let me see. I'm going to just get rid of the head, the weights the head have on this. Click on it. And press M again, disengage it, R, and yeep. There we go. Oh, M, R, R. Alright, that's a lot better. So now I'm going to leave edit mode, weight paint mode for a second, and just go into object mode and see how the legs move. Yeah, that's what I don't like, this crotch thingy right here. So I'm just gonna move this up and edit. No, I forgot to edit weight paint mode. And I'm just gonna do the same thing like I did with the neck. I'm gonna enable the matte face select. I'm just gonna cool it off till the part snaps in there the way I like it to. Oops, a little too much leg. So let's see how it is in object mode. It's really hard for me to tell how this looks because the blue, it's a little much. And I usually just check it in world if it doesn't look right. I guess I can tell, like right now it doesn't look right. So let's apply the texture to it and then let's see how it looks. So I'm going to create a new window and I'm going to go into UV edit mode, tab A, maybe J, and get rid of those extra jumps. I'm going to press N. There we go. So what I want to do is press, let's see, let's go to materials, body material. Why can't I view that then? Select the body, open. There we go. That'll help us out. Now we look at the weights, you can see whether or not it's working or not. Okay, so that's how it looks, and it doesn't look good. So let's weight paint this a little bit better. As of late, I've been painting everything from ball gowns and everything in between. But for some reason, I'm having a real hard time with pants. And you know why I think that is? I think because the leg bones might be a little too high for this avatar. So I'm going to change how those legs are. So what I'm going to do is press A and then, Alt R, set it back. Now I'm going to press Tab. I'm going to press A and deselect everything. Then I'm going to go into the options panel and I'm going to do the X-axis mirror. Now I'm going to press B and select this leg joint thingy mabobs here. And I'm going to press G and just move the legs down to like right here. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to move the pelvis and the chest area down a bit, like right there. So now when I go to move it, I think I like the way that leg is right here. Still gross the way it moves, but that feels like it's a lot easier to fix. So I'm going to press here and go on weight paint again. And turn off masking. Okay, turn the mask on. Press R again. Let's look at it. Just gonna wait a little bit more, then we'll be done. Oops. Yeah, that's a lot better. So, look at the leg. And what trick we did before. So I'm just going to copy the weights from that one. So I'm going to weight paint on this and beat it. Avatar tools, mirror opposite bones. So let's look at that again. And whoa, that got sticky. Click. Okay. Yeah, good enough. So let's put some heat here. Okay. Alright, that looks good. Do the same thing over here. Alright, that looks pretty good as well. Put this down, and we gotta check the troublemakers, which are the eye bones on the head. So let's weight paint that. Look at those. Turn masking off. Let's see. Oh, didn't turn it off. Okay, so alright, eyes are good. Neck, head, it's moving about fine. Alright, so we have our thing all weighted. And let's go and export it and then wear it up in Second Life. So what we're going to do now is we're going to click on our body and our head. Oh, it's all one thing. So we're going to click on our body, our head, everything, our mesh. And we're going to go to File, Export, XNALara Avatar. Oh, wait. It seems I have some zero weights here that I need to take care of before I'm able to export. Because you guys know Second Life in Blender, Second Life and Avatar do not like zero weights. So what we can do to check that is we need to go into weight paint mode. And we need to check this box right here, this vertex masking. Turn it all on. And I'm going to press A and deselect everything. And I guess it would help if I turn off the texture shading. That way we know where everything is. And I'm going to press this other box here, which is kind of like solid wireframe. It just shows all the vertices or so. So got that. And now we're going to go over to the Avatar tab, scroll on down to Tools, and you're going to see where it says zero weight. And when you click it, the little vertices will light up, and it will show you what vertex don't have weight on it. So what we're going to need to do is weight paint these two dots that are right here. So I'm going to click on the bones. Click on the garment, the mesh. I'm so used to working with clothes. Click on the mesh, weight paint. I'm going to click on the pelvis. Oh. Okay, hang on 1 second. Okay. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn off this vertex select for a second. I'm going to click on the pelvis. Then I'm going to turn the vertex select on again. I'm going to press the, whatever button was that, zero weights button. And I'm just going to go up to the top. Do tools, turn the weight up, and I'm just going to throw some weight right there. So now those should be weighted. So I'm going to go back into object mode, click on the mesh, then file, export, Avatar, and now we can save. So I'm going to save this on my desktop, and I'm going to name it Little Flare. And before we hit save, we're going to need to check a box. So I want you to come back over here to the export options over here on the side, and we're going to press this little triangle that says advanced, and then you're going to check this box that says apply armature scale, and then we're going to hit save, and that's it. So now all we have to do is go back into Second Life, and we need to upload our avatar. So I'm just going to go to build, and then actually, hang on, I'm lagging like crazy. I'm going to go back into Blender real quick. Oh, the lag. Oh, you're back. Okay, I cannot have Second Life coming back to life with Blender and the right behind it without minimizing it. Okay, so what we need to do is go to build, upload, mesh model, and we're going to look for my little flare. And because it's got a custom skeleton, well, first we gotta do 0, 0, and then we're gonna check the include skin weight box as well as the include joint position, and then we're gonna calculate the weights and fees. 11L, upload, and I'm gonna put on my little flare, and you see I'm down here. So there's my little flare. Let's give her her texture, which we actually put in the last time. I'm going to turn the sound down again real quick, because those UI sounds are super loud. Alright, so we have our little flare, and we're going to click on her, and we're going to make sure we're in texture to diffuse, and we're going to add the texture in. So I think I should have it already uploaded. So I got my textures. I think it should be this one. So it's got a little body, and I'm gonna select the face and put her head on. So now I'm a little flare. Now you may see that I am hovering in the air, which isn't good, but you can just go to the quick preference and change your hover height down into the ground. Can you scroll your wheel on this? Nope. Over here. Nope. So just gotta there we go. Now I'm in it. So now I'm a little flare. I'm down here, but I'm still a little flare. So when I go here and put my A on, see, I'm all animated and junk. I might be in the ground a little bit, but that's just a little, there we go, a little adjusting. Dang it, nabbit. There we go. And see if we can do some dancing just to check the weight rigging out. Oh, that's the insane thing. Now you gotta remember, because you're down low, you may need to make some custom some animations or so to adjust for the height. But for the most part, regular Second Life animations work. So that's how you make a tiny avatar, and it can go as tiny as you want it to go. And the fun thing about this is that you can actually make these into fit mesh, tiny little fit mesh avatars, using the techniques we showed you before on how to make fit mesh avatars. Just check the box. And tinies will have the ability to jiggle. But if we were to do the same thing with the giant avatars, they can be fit mesh now, which wasn't a possibility back in the day, but they don't jiggle. So you can be a giant fit mesh lady if you want to, but you can't be a giant fit mesh jiggling lady. So that's just a fun little tip here. So I know I said in the last video that we were going to go and do the giant avatars, and I did the chibi one instead, but now that we have chibi, it's kind of natural that we go and do a giant one. So I'm going to go look for my Great Fairy avatar, because I can't think of a character more fitting to be giant, and it's the perfect example for that. So I'm going to go look for a Great Fairy avatar, and then I'll be right back and show you how we make giant lady avatars. So that's it for the chibi material. I'll see you guys when I find that Great Fairy. See you, and good luck on your projects.